Hey, look, it's your boy Drew. We're back. Podcast conversations. Wife is out tonight. You know, she's a little under the weather. But hey, look, I've been reduced to my man cave tonight. So got a little guest in my studio, so gotta come out here. Anyway, look, a lot of stuff still going on, ICE, with the police and this, that, and the other. A lot of people are talking about police brutality. I'm gonna do a show probably Saturday on police brutality. But one of the things, in fact, I'm gonna do a live show this coming Saturday. Again 3 p.m. on police brutality. Maybe on Black Radio Network (FTP). You can actually find it live on YouTube. I want you guys to like, subscribe, and share my videos, and please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. We're trying to do things together and everything. But I was going over this thing this morning about ICE. Seems to be the big topic going around. How they're still kidnapping people off the street. What a lot of people don't understand is they really don't have any authority if you're a citizen, and how they're getting away with it is far beyond my thinking. The so-called Democrats they're yelling that they can't do anything about it. Republicans got this. Republicans are this. That's total BS. They could actually stop it if they want. Um, recently, they went through a funding process. For ICE. If they just shut the government down, that funding what they went through. They should have did that. There has to be some type of negotiations. And we have a lot of Democrats as well who actually across the lines with Republicans, and actually they seem to be okay with violating people's rights. I mean, violation of rights is an issue that us as Black people we deal with every day. So it's not new. Now, what's crazy is they're starting to violate more and more rights of white folks. Look at that stuff doing in Minnesota, for example, Minneapolis. How they killed one lady, they murdered her, and then they obviously murdered that guy last week. I mean, it's just a shame what they're doing. So again, Black folks, if you're thinking, that you're going to be parts of these protests and this, that, and the other, you just reevaluate your situation. We have other ways, that we can actually support, the cause if really needed, if you really want to. But my belief again is, we need to take care of ourselves, our own communities first. Man, we got to get back to loving each other and helping each other build businesses and stuff, man. That's what we should be doing. You know, look, don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone else, but hey, look, when we're fighting, where's everyone else? Where's everyone else when we're fighting? It has become a time and point where we can't be nice to everybody as a people when they're never there for us. So that being said, I'm not gonna be protesting. I'm not gonna be doing any of that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna be having run-ins with ICE, this, that, and the other. Not saying it's not possible because knowing I'm black, that they're snatching people up of color. I mean, matter of fact, there have been cases of them actually pulling black police officers over and grabbing on them. If you go to Massachusetts, places like that, there are several cases of them actually snatching up black police officers. So that being said, they'll grab anybody, and they're doing it with absolute immunity and no remorse because those guys who operate this ice, they cannot tell me that all those guys are federal agents. They're definitely your good old boys, and so you got to be careful when you're dealing with your good old boy system. So to limit your exposure with the good old boys, the more you stay in your house, the better off you are. The less you interact in that nonsense, the better off you are. And we just hope for the best and pray and train. One of the things we definitely should be doing again is I say it in every video, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Brothers and sisters, buy firearms and get efficient with them to protect yourself, your family. You know, God knows what might happen the way this country is going right now. I mean, hey, um, they got Hispanics today, you got the African countries, could be black folks tomorrow. And I still believe, and I'm always going to believe that's the bottom line. What they're really focusing on is reducing numbers so they can make their play on the so-called African Americans here in this country. Do you trust them? I know I don't. Hell, I don't even hardly even trust our military anymore. I mean, after seeing, I mean, how easily these guys, agents of government, will follow orders. I mean, what's prevent them from following orders and turning on us as well? A lot of people we know in the military, they take orders. That's their livelihood. And at this point, this seems to be all anyone is doing is following orders. That's their excuse. Well, I was ordered to do that. But you have to have a conscience and you have to have integrity with some of this stuff, man. There's no way in the world that I would ever turn my back on my people and I would go out and start just hurting people for no reason and abusing people just because I could. That's crazy. And people are going to get tired of that. If people are going to eventually start, as they're saying, returning fire, people are going to start fighting violence for violence. And I kind of think that's what they want. I think their main goal again is to martial law. I kind of believe that, or some other type of takeover or anything that would delay the election process. That's what I think they're trying to do. But I think they're gonna actually find it harder than they think. The Trump administration is going to find out that it's going to be harder than they think because martial law itself is not just going to necessarily interfere with the elections like they think, because the states actually control their election processes. And right now, if you look at what they're doing, like the offer they gave to Minnesota last week, if you turn over your voting registry, we'll take the ICE agents out. Texas has already released their voting registry, and there are a lot of other states that are doing it as well. The Republican states are doing that as well, turning in their voting registry. And what does that mean for the voter if you think about it? Your information is being released to the government. Who you vote for, how you voted. I mean, that's it's not for the government to know. It's not for anyone to know really who you're voting for. So therefore, politically, it could make certain people targets. And if you're an activist or whatever, you better believe you're going to be a target. These are just something to think about. But again, I hate to say it. I don't condone it. But people are going to start picking up those firearms. And buddy, when people start picking up those firearms, you're not going to want to be around when they start picking up firearms. You want to be in your house. You want to be able to protect your house and protect your family and keep it moving. But anyway, you just heard it from me. This is your boy Drew. I'm out. So have a good evening.